Hello, everyone. My name is Alice Boll, and we are here for a special episode of Scrapbook Live. Now, normally once a month, we come together online and scrapbook together, and so hopefully that's what you're here for today. But we have an extra special event today because I'm going to be using my kit from the Wild Hair Kits, and I'm going to start creating my Christmas card mini album. So to give you a quick peek, this was my last year's mini Christmas book album. And in this book, I started it as a project for a place to keep my Christmas cards so that I can still access them and still see everything and look inside and see the greetings. So how do you take your pile of Christmas cards or your hanging awesome merry mail of Christmas cards and turn this into a book? That's what we're here for today. Or you can obviously work on any project that you need to work on, so that's fine too. I have my trimmer handy. I have my laminator handy. I have the thermal pouches for the cover as well. And I have the cards. So hopefully I have most of what I need available at my fingertips and we can just get crafty. So the first thing I like to do is literally pull all of the cards off of my mail and just kind of get them organized. It is so sweet, all of the greetings, and I absolutely love sending and receiving Christmas cards. Heather says she is actually scrapbooking, so there we go. This is going perfect, and we will gather up the cards. So as I make the stack of cards, I'm thinking about different ways that I can add the cards to the book. So sometimes I add some directly to the binding. Some of them I add in on a sheet so that they open up and some flip up. So it just depends on the card, the size of the card, and how I put the project together. Now, one cool thing, and I saved a couple of them here. Okay, let's get all of these away, and I'm going to tuck these in here. A couple of escapees. One cool thing that I do is as I receive the cards, I try to immediately, although sometimes it doesn't happen immediately, put the interesting things from the envelope into the project. So let's grab all of these. And there we go. Okay, so there's my stack of Christmas cards. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay. This can go down there. Perfect. So here's my stack of Christmas cards. But a few of the Christmas cards, when you look inside them, it's just a Christmas card. This one's from my stepfather, and Rochelle says, wow, Alice, I want my cart to look like your cart. It's overflowing with goodies. Oh, it totally is. It is stuffed full of good stuff. Yeah, so the cards are just normal. But I missed a couple in the beginning. I didn't have my handy dandy adhesive runner handy. I try to keep it there so that I have it handy because I take the envelopes and I take the addresses and some of the fun Christmas stamps and stuff, and I like to stick them inside the cards. So I have a couple of those, and I'm going to just work on that right now. So I've got my card handy. I don't save all the postal stuff unless it has something really interesting. Like sometimes there's like little Santa Claus and sleighs. I've seen those on the postal stamps before. If they have something fun, then maybe I'll save that part too. But you know, I think it's just interesting to see stamps from different places and to have the little address stamps that people have made up. Like these ones are little festive ones that have like a penguin with Christmas lights, and I love the little I love those little return address stickers. So I've always, when I was a kid, I wanted those so bad. It was like a special thing for me, but I loved sending mail. So Fancy Scrapper, Cynthia, she said, right? Am I right? Okay, tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. She said, what a great project. I absolutely love putting this all together. So then I just take my adhesive and I stick those in. So I have done most of these, like I said, but there's a couple that are not done yet. And the other thing I have done before we started is I've made a list of all of our different Christmas activities or things that happened in December that feel festive or special for the holidays. And I have made a list of those and printed some photos from those events. Now, sometimes I printed too many photos and sometimes I printed, you know, I might have missed a couple of them. I know there's a couple that I didn't check mark. Some of my, does anybody else have this issue with their iPhones? Their stuff doesn't always transfer properly between their devices. So I usually print my photos direct from my computer, but when I have them, but sometimes the stuff doesn't transfer from my phone to my computer. Like why? Okay, so this one here. There we go. I think I'll add these as we go through. And even if I add the cards, I can always add these little bits in after. So this will be the last one that I prep here, just so we can get on to the actual building of the project. And I will show you the fabulous kit that I ordered because it is amazing. Okay. Oh, my garbage is full. It's going to be extra full today. Might have to dump that. Okay. So let's keep that handy. Got a few more envelopes that did not get addressed, or dealt with, I guess. Everything has been addressed just fine. She says, I do a December daily and I'm behind this year. So 2 things about December daily. I think it's a brilliant project, but I struggle because there's no way that I can do that with Christmas. Like, December's busy and I've tried it one year and man, it was like stressful trying to do it. I was only semi-successful and I just felt that, you know, maybe it wasn't the project for me. And so after that, I actually created a class called Scrapbook Christmas in January. And so I do that now and oh my goodness, it's made all the difference for me. And so through the month of December, I send out little ideas of things that you may wish to include in your holiday photo memory gathering. And then in the month of January, we actually do our holiday scrapbooking. So if anybody has not taken advantage of this course yet, you can still sign up. If you have a ScrapHappy membership, then there's a special code for you. And yeah, you just go to scrapbookwonderland.com. That's my older blog where I started online, scrapbookwonderland.com/Christmas. Super easy. And 25 days through January, we walk through different things that you might want to scrapbook. So in addition to this project, I do actual pages because I want to tell like more stories. And so that goes into the pages that I create. Do I scrapbook 25 pages about Christmas every day or every year? I mean, no, I don't. Now that I've kind of done this once and made it through the first time, I pick and choose which events we do and which ones fall into it. So it might not be a 25 Christmas pages. I might add like 5 or 6 or 10, depending on the season and how many extra fun things I'm going to do. But now that I do this project, you know, it's a good addition to it. This gives us an overview of the season with all of the Christmas cards and gives me a spot to put the Christmas cards. And then everything else is, no, like the extra memory. So everything's all in one spot. Okay, so I said I have my list, I have my cards, I have the laminator and it is warmed up, and just judging from these cards, I'm just gonna stand them up and we'll sort them out. So I don't really have any in here that are bigger than this project that I did last year. Even if this one here, it's a little wide maybe, and that one might end up being turned sideways because it's maybe too wide to have it that way. But other than that, they're all gonna fit in this size. So I'm gonna totally go with this size again. So I think the next thing I should do is show you the fabulous things that are in my kit. Now, I specially requested this kit, and I requested it in early November so that I would have a Christmas kit. Now that's a secret. If you want to scrapbook Christmas, it's always easier to get your Christmas supplies before the season because everybody orders their stuff. All the suppliers have the things, but after Christmas, things are picked over. So then you're like, okay, I'll do the Christmas leftovers game. Whereas if you pre-order your stuff, you get all the good things up front. So in my kit, now this is a kit from the Wild Hair Kits, and we will be having a draw about an hour into this or so. So if I'm not stopping to do a draw at some point, somebody will be like, hey, Alice, aren't we going to do a draw? Totally cool. Give me a reminder. And they're custom curated. So they're a surprise, but they're tailored to your styles. And so I happened to mention that, oh, I really like this and I really like this. And yeah, this is beautiful. And when I looked at it, I'm like, it is perfect for this project. So here we go. There is a little bit of washi tape, which is good. Like I'm sticking cards into this project. How good is having a beautiful roll of washi tape? There are some wood veneers from Freckled Fawn, and it says December Memories Daily. So I could do December Daily, of course, and Joy. So some cute little wood pieces. I love that handwriting, those little die cut or like those little wood veneer handwriting. Those are so pretty. And then we have some sequins, and this is exclusively for the Wild Hair Kits from Spiegel Mom Scraps. And so it is a lovely little holiday collection. And then it says, hi Alice, happy December crafting from Allison. Well, there's my little card come with my package. Next up is Heidi Swapp ephemera from her Winter Wonderland collection, and these pieces are so pretty. Heidi Swapp is one of my very favorite designers, and so I had mentioned that I loved her new stuff, and that was just a great jumping off point for her to build me a kit that would come together. So here are some 3D embellishment stickers from Pink Paislee. Super cute. Paige Evans, also one of my faves. Next up, there are some Alpha Thickers in red. Love those. They are the Rudolph. Perfect, right? Rudolph with your nose so bright. Okay, I should totally have Christmas music playing, but I don't. And then in this little, there's like a little glassine bag here, and in the bag we got some fun little doodads. So let's take a peek at that. Oh, I wrecked the bag. I was trying to be so careful, but I did not. Because that bag could come in handy in the project, right? Using those little bags. So we'll see. Maybe I can rescue it later. Oh, there's some like interesting little metal clips. Little metal clips. You can see that if I move my head there against the white. And there's like 5 of those and a little bit of twine. So that's neat. And then we're into the beautiful paper. Oh, first of all, die cut. It says, oh dear, on it, which cracks me up because, oh my goodness, my son, he does that thing where he says that, like, you know, the online internet, I don't know, like TikTok era kind of kids, they do this, oh dear, and they post silly things. Yeah, my younger son is into that. Okay, so let's look at the paper. It's pretty. Pink Paislee, Together for Christmas. So we got this nice green, and then there is this poinsettia floral, pretty. And this is also from the Pink Paislee collection. There is a lovely little stripe, candy cane stripe, and then is that kind of look like poinsettias all squashed together, but geometric? Like it kind of has like a feel for that, right? It's a geometric, but it kind of gives you that poinsettia feel, so that's kind of fun. And then we have this one, and this is also from the Together for Christmas from Pink Paislee. Ooh, the sun is really pretty. I don't know if I can show that good enough, but yeah, that's really nice. And so then we've got a black and white buffalo plaid, and this has some red paper with little greetings on it. So it says things like peace, favorite, believe, miracle, December, happy, together, tradition, lights, merry, mistletoe, lots of good things. Okay, so now we have another collection here. So this is from Heidi Swapp's Winter Wonderland collection. So this looks like black and white polka dot, right? Nice. But if you look up close, you can actually see how there's music notes in the background. And I just love that. I think that was so pretty. It's like such a nice touch. And it has words, but they're like written in French. So I'd have to really look to see if there's something that I can actually read in that. It's very hard to read. They're kind of like barely visible. And then a nice pattern on the back of that. And we've got another polka dot one from the Heidi Swapp Winter Wonderland collection. And this one doesn't have the lovely like music, but then this is like the other side. And so we have like this little bit of something here, but then this lovely bold stripe. And then we've got some red stripe. And this is so pretty. This birch bark paper. Oh, yes. And then a super fancy sheet of paper, and this is like a shiny gold dot. Now can I make it catch the shine? I don't know. It's gold foil. It's actually really quite shiny. I don't know if I can get that to show up, but it's like embossed as well. So if you look at the back, you can kind of see how it's embossed, right? So it's embossed with the gold dots. So pretty things. This paper here, I think I'd like to use some of it on my front cover. Now, the papers that I cut, I'll keep my sample from last year handy and grab my ruler. I wrecked one of my rulers the other day. So when I was sewing that quilt, I was using the metal edge to run my brand new rotary trimmer down because I had to get one of those. And I forgot, and I cut it on the other side, and I cut off part of my ruler with my rotary trimmer. I'm like, brilliant. So I wrecked one of my really awesome rulers that I love, but thankfully it wasn't my only one, because it does not work for drawing straight lines now. Like, I wrecked it bad. It's like, if you're gonna wreck it real bad, right? I succeeded. Okay, so the interior pages that I have in this book are 6 inches wide, and they are 9 inches tall. So 6 by 9, that is what we're going for size. And then my cover, the paper is actually, it's actually cut to a little smaller than 6 by 9. So the paper inside, it's 8 5/8 for the paper on it. Tall, sorry. I should have done it the other way first. And it's 6 1/8 by 8 5/8. So why would I make it smaller? So that I have room to laminate it and have that sealed edge around it. So that's the only reason that my cover is actually cut a little bit smaller. And I could have made it just a little bit smaller. So actually I'm looking at this, and because I've got the binding, like the holes are hitting like right here into the cut of the cover. If I make it just a little bit smaller, I can cut that in half and probably use it for the front and the back. So I think I'm gonna do that this year. So all the tricks. Okay, so I think it's time to start assembling. I'll laminate the cover, and that way I have that part. Ooh, maybe if I want to put something on the front cover. Oh, I could do those letters. They're not too fat, right? Maybe a little fat. Maybe I should have some flat ones for laminating, right? Okay, so I'm gonna cut this to that 8 and, what did I say, 5/8, 8 and 5/8. I'm gonna cut it to that, and then I'm gonna just cut it in half. And then I'll have the piece for my front and back covers that I can laminate. Perfect. And then, of course, like all these extra pieces, I'll save them, and they'll go on to different parts inside the book, right? So even though you end up with a lot of trim pieces after you cut your papers to fit in the album, it's not like you end up with that many like actual broken pieces, because you can take something like this and include that in the book, and you can do fold outs, and you know, there's a lot of things that we use extra pieces for within the confines of the album. Okay, so somewhere in the book I would like to make a pocket, and I did a really cool pocket last time, and I'll show you that. So I'm just thinking about like any of the tricky fancy pages here first. So if we look at this page here, I've got different cards and Christmas letters tucked inside this pocket. And so this pocket is literally just a 12-inch by a 6-inch strip of paper, because all the paper I said was like 6 by 9. And if you look, this is probably a 3-inch little pocket. Yeah, I'm guessing I just took a 12-inch strip and just folded it up. And that way I had this piece here as a pre-built pocket. You just kind of seal it along the side, and ta-da, like there's a pocket, and that's how easy they are to make. So thinking about that, I would love to have a pocket that has a nice design from one page to the other, right? I don't know if that will work very nicely. Sure, I think I'll use this paper. So I'll cut off the branding strip, which, you know, I always save all of those as I'm doing the project too. But I'm going to plan for this one to become a pocket. So I'm going to cut it in half, but I'm not going to trim it to 9 inches. I'll leave this 3 inches for a pocket. And in fact, I might as well fold that right now, so I have it kind of set for size. There we go. So this is how easy it is. And now I just need to put a little adhesive along that side, and I have a lovely pocket. And of course the back side of my paper, because these are double-sided papers, all the papers are really beautiful throughout the book. And I'll just use a little bit of paper tape and seal that side. Like, if I was getting extra fancy, I could use a sewing machine. I've learned how to, me and my sewing machine have become really good buddies lately with my sewing project. But, you know, we're not gonna overdo it here. I spent, let's see, more than 24 hours of sewing over 2 days. I think I'm good for a bit. So I'm just adding that tape along the edge Then I'm gonna fold that up. And if I was putting something like smaller into here, I would maybe seal the other side, but this side will just go into my binding and it'll be held by the coils. And because I'm just tucking Christmas stories in there, you know, like it's gonna be fine. It doesn't need to have like extra secure adhesive or anything on the other side. And in fact, if I add adhesive there, it could get in the way of my binding when I'm cutting it, and then I could just gum up my cinch machine. So this just kind of saves me from future issues. Okay, and since I probably only need 1 or 2 pockets, I think that that's gonna be good. And maybe, oh, I kind of want this one. I love this buffalo plaid a lot too. Okay, I'm gonna do this one too. I'll make 2 pockets. Worst case scenario, I have an area that looks like a pocket that I don't use like a pocket. That really wouldn't be so bad, right? Make sure I've got this going the right way. So yes, this has words on it. That's important when you're cutting this project. Make sure you cut this way so you have your 6-inch pieces here, not like this. So anything that has words, make sure you're cutting the proper direction. Super important tip. So now I can take that. And obviously, if I wanted the pocket to be here and I'd fold this up, those would be the wrong way. And if I took them here, I could do that and make the words the right way. But look at my other side. Now all the words are upside down. So my pocket is going to be this kind of words with the buffalo plaid folded up, right? So just the considerations to think about when using anything with words. And like, you wouldn't have to be complicated if you could use this graphic, you know, with double-sided pattern. You don't even have to worry about it. It's all good. But just we'll just point these things out now because they can become just little hiccups in the project, and you know, you don't need those frustrations. Aggressive. That was an aggressive scorer. Okay. And so now I've made myself 2 little pockets to go into the book. Okay. There, this is fun. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough papers just with these papers. I'm not quite sure. So I've got 2 sheets. That's like 4 pages in the book, right? And I've got my cover sheets front and back. And I've got these extra ones that are cut, the buffalo plaid one, and I'll do the other one. Oh, it's right here. So these can just get cut down to the 9 inches, and I'll just have 3-inch strips off of these. Okay. But all of my strip pieces, I'll just keep in a pile here along with my branding strips so that I have everything handy there. Okay. And like the actual assembly of the album, that can happen like as we go, but I'll include, I should be able to include that today and get everything in here. So the other thing I like to have handy is some Post-it notes, because you can use Post-it notes kind of to kind of show your project as you go through it. So I love to have little Post-it notes handy. Okay, so now I'm using these prints and I'm going to be doing them, getting 2 sheets out of each one. And so depending on how I want these prints to go, like it's always good to look at both sides. So like this floral doesn't super have an up or down, like that looks up, but maybe that looks also, yeah. So I think I'm going to do it this way, but I'm going to cut my 9-inch strip off the bottom. And I prefer to do the 9-inch strip off and then cut this piece in half, only because it allows me, so I've got my 2 pieces now cut for the book, but then I have this long piece. And then if I want to do something special with a longer piece where I want to have like a little flap that opens up, or I want to create some other like little pocket, I could literally just fold this, glue this along the bottom, and then create another little pocket, like just a little mini pocket that a tag could sit in or something for in the book. So I prefer to leave my pieces long when I can. And now it's just a matter of trimming those up. So, did anybody get anything scrapbooky for Christmas? I wonder, like, what kind of presents did y'all get? Did you get some presents? Or are you like the we don't do presents kind of household? My husband always says every year, I don't want presents. And that's because he's a Scrooge and doesn't want to spend money. But so I just take care of my own presents. And of course I take care of the ones for the kids. So, and I'm okay with that. Like, as bad as it sounds, I'm totally okay with it because I get what I like. Oh, way to go with making friends with your sewing machine. I know. It was like a big deal. I got this idea after that night that we kind of tidied some things in here. And the next morning I started on the quilt, and I did that all day Friday. I started probably 10, 11 by the time I went to this shop in town and got my supplies that I needed. And then I worked on it until 3 a.m. that night. And then the next morning I started at 10 and I finished at 11 o'clock that night. And being that I'm not a sewer really, like I know how to thread my machine and I know how to like run my bobbins and stuff. But other than that, let's just say I don't have a lot of experience with sewing. It went so good. Yeah. Let's see. Tina says I send Heavy pics and he's pretty good about picking some scrappy things up for me. Nice. Jacqueline says I got a totally Tiffany crop seat. Ooh. Tina says I got a pink typewriter and a new organization cabinet, so I'm cleaning and reorganizing. Okay, so if I ever move or we downsize where I don't have this amazing space, I am getting one of those scrap boxes, guys. Like, that is happening. If we ever move to a smaller location, a scrap box will be in my home. Anybody here have one? Just tell me now and brag all about it. It's all good. Deanna says, I got a set of Ranger alcohol inks and the stuff to go with them. So I did get myself a Christmas present. And it was super fun. I'm going to grab it. So for Christmas, I ordered myself the Ink Road Stamps advent calendar, and I actually didn't quite get it in time to run it like an advent calendar. So instead of having like an advent calendar, I decided don't look at anything on social media, which is really hard. I saw 1 or 2 of them, but it has 12 stamp sets in it, and so there was like a little thing string with like little clips so that you could hang it up in your space and open your advent calendar every day. So I did kind of I kind of missed out on that. It included everything. Like, she's got like push pins so that you can stick them in, like totally thoughtful. And then every day the little envelopes have like a little golden number on them. So number 1, and then you get to open it up. I did open these all already. I was really excited. And in here, I got like this little fireplace, and then there's all these other Christmas ones, and oh my gosh, like It was so fun. So if you haven't ordered stamps from the Ink Road Stamps, it's like small home-based business kind of thing. Although she is getting bigger and getting busier all the time. It was fabulous. It had 12 stamp sets. They're beautiful. And so if she does, and you could have also ordered the ones with the dies, so you can get the stamps and the dies to match with all the stuff. I didn't get that this year, but who knows what will happen next year because this was so much fun. It was a great way to give yourself a surprise present of something that you love. So that was fun. And like this, like getting a kit from like one of the kit companies where you don't know exactly what's in that kit. I love that. So super fun. And my kids got me a present this year. They got us, for me and for Jonas, they got us an Instant Pot. So I have joined the Instant Pot family, just saying. So we are now Instant Pot people. And it was crazy because I haven't even really got to use it yet. We tried one thing in it, but my fridge was so stuffed with food. I'm like, I can't cook one more thing. Like, we have to eat what's here. Oh, and I didn't cut the stuff off of these. Let's see, there, this happens. So I'm gonna have shorter pieces of this one. Oops. Okay. And there. Okay. So next up, I'm gonna just count the pages that I had last year. Obviously this year I could need a totally different number of pages, but it'll give me a good jumping off point to go with. And then there. And then we'll see if I'm close. Okay, so here's all my interior pages that I've cut so far. If I need more, I do have extra because, you know, I tried not to order other Christmas stuff, but I did a little bit. I got to go shopping in person and then I picked up some things. So I didn't actually order more stuff. Okay. So let's see how many pages are between the covers here. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Mm, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think that's pretty good, right? Like 14. Maybe I have more pictures than last year, but I can always add like some tip outs or something like that. Maybe I should plan for one of those to be built right into the seam. So I'm gonna grab one more sheet of paper. Okay, so other collections that I saw that I fell in love with. The Cartabella Christmas Market collection. Okay, look how pretty it is. It is like super gorgeous, and it's that Cartabella texture paper. All Cartabella paper is textured. So that's another one that I love. Oh, here, I've got this other sheet from the Winter Wonderland collection. Okay, so I'm gonna use one of those. And I'll put these to the side. So I'm gonna plan for a tip out. Oh, both of these are good for that. Okay. So like a really big tip out though, so that most of the page comes in folds. So I think that would be a fun thing to have in here. Let's just cut the strip off. And now instead of I'm gonna score it at 6, and then I'm going to cut the one side a little shorter. And I'm gonna score it first just so that my brain can wrap around it. So don't cut, just score. Okay, so when I put this into the book, I'll show you here first. I'm gonna want it to like fold out and tip out, that's what we call them. So it's going to open up like this inside the thing and then be tucked closed. But because my binding is going to be along here, I'm going to actually cut like an inch off of this one side. And I could have done that like ahead of time, obviously, but I think it was just good to kind of see that visual little bit, so that this will be like this in the book now, folding out. Good. And honestly, I think probably one more. I'll just do one more because I can. I did print a lot of pictures. I'll show you in a sec. Let's cut it to me.
That's for me.
Can you hear us this time, Alice? Or is she still unable to hear us?
Score and
Okay.
cut. So I'll do this one just the same. Okay, so those are some fun elements that I'm kind of including in right off of the get-go here. And let's go back to talking about cards now that we've got some base pages kind of prepped here. So base pages. Now cards, like some of the cards, depending on how they open, I like to include them right into the binding of the book. And I don't want to wreck like any of the important stuff. Okay, somebody said something here. Heather said she got all sorts of Winnipeg Blue Bombers stuff for Christmas, and my son got me all sorts of Scrappy stuff. And oh, people love their Instant Pot. Tina says she's only used it a few times. She needs more recipes. And I didn't hear Amy. Were you talking, Amy? Sorry, I didn't hear anything. I wonder if I have that issue again. That was terrible last time. So yeah, the some of the cards, like I want them to be able to open. So if I put this along the binding, it won't open up, right? Like, so I could either put it in the binding sideways and have it sideways. I try to put as few of them sideways in there as I can, unless I kind of have to. With a card like this, that is, it's just over 6. Sometimes I'll look to see if I can trim just like a little tiny bit off of the edge, but this one's a little bit too big, so it's gonna have to go in sideways. So if it's going in my book sideways, one of the things I can do is I can punch holes along that binding so it can still open, but it becomes part of the album. And let me show you an example of of that. So here's a card, this little Santa card here. I've cut the holes right into the card itself, and yeah, there we go. I've never, until last time, I thought I haven't had this problem, and I've done some other like sessions here recently, and I could hear other people, so I don't know what's going on. Why like it shouldn't take, I don't have anything else plugged in other than the mic, but it shouldn't make it so I can't hear anybody else. Sorry. I'm sorry. But they did play it back on the replay last time. So the audios did come through on the replay. Okay, so you can see here, and if you look, you can see that there's like a little bit of red along, shiny stuff along those sides, but I trimmed off like a tiny little bit to make it so it would fit within this book. And then because it's right in the binding, it opens up just nice, and you can read all of the stuff inside. So that's a good example of things that I like to do. Okay. So I think now we've got cards handy. I've got papers handy. I need to do this cover. I think it's time to do the cover. So I have the option of putting like something on the outside, Does anybody have more experience than me with laminating? If I put stickers, which are quite thick, are they going to laminate okay, or is that going to look crappy? Like, feel free to tell me that it would look crappy. Oh, Brielle says she is celebrating Christmas tomorrow, so she's going to see about the presents and stuff. So, I think that might look bad if I laminate something thick like that. So I think I'll just leave it blank. Okay, so let's grab some thermal laminating pouches and put these done. So I have my laminator here, and it is very warmed up because I've been doing it this whole time, but it's not a big deal. It's just some scotch. Is like $15 from Walmart or something. It's not expensive. Once you buy a package of these things, like all of a sudden you realize all the things you should have been laminating all along. Deidre says she's off to see San Diego. Happy New Year. Have a fantastic day. Oh my gosh. Okay, and I'm just gonna check. Is this book exactly the width of these packages? Oh, looks like it. Well, that's convenient. So I'm just gonna put my paper into my pouch. If the stickers are sticky, could you stick them on top of the laminate? I could, but they're probably gonna get like pulled off from like putting on a shelf or something like that. You know, it'll probably have a halo around the letters, says Monica, since it just adheres. Yeah. So I don't think that I'll do that. Oh yeah, perhaps she's on her phone today. That's getting fancy with the tech. There we go. Okay. I'm just gonna put through, this one could be the back. I have time to like plan something else. I could do a Christmas flat sticker. Oh, I could do one of these die cuts on the front. That could be nice. And it could be very festive. Let's see, do they have one that says, oh, they've got one that says be merry and bright. Looks pretty nice. There's a big fancy cute deer head. There's a lovely poinsettia. Maybe I'm gonna pick that poinsettia out of there. Okay, so this is laminating through. I guess I could have trimmed it so I just have to laminate all the stuff at the end. But I didn't. Oh, I think the poinsettias are actually vellum. And I don't think that's going to show up very good on there. All the things. Okay. Lots of little pieces. Oh, the deer is so cute. Oh my gosh. There's a tree. I could do the tree. The tree is good. There's a word that says together. There's a word that says joy. These are nice and flat. So the be merry and bright is also on vellum. So if I applied it onto there, it's not going to show up very good. Seasons, greetings. Not my favorite phrase. Oh, this one here, this poinsettia is not on a thing. So this is kind of a neat ephemera pack because it has all different kinds of pieces, and some of them have gold foil on them. It says better together. Then do I put like the deer and the bear and they're better together? I'm getting overly creative, I think. I could put a picture of our family, but I honestly don't know if we have a good one yet. We might have to still accomplish that. I think I just like that deer. I think I'm gonna not overcomplicate it. It was either the deer. Okay, let's have a vote. The cute deer, which I think is cute, or the Christmas tree. And the Christmas tree has little gold balls on it too. Christmas tree or deer? Deer, tree. I'm gonna like let everybody weigh in, and then I'm gonna count, and whoever wins, I'll put it on because I'll tell. I don't have a bad choice, right? So deer, tree, deer, deer, tree, tree, deer, tree. Guys, come on, deer, deer, deer. I think deer's coming out ahead. You got like 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm just gonna do something on the front. I think it'll just be like the one little thing, and that'll be it. It's on the cover. Sometimes I put something on the inside of the cover, but half the time I tape it on afterwards because that way I don't have to overplan it now, right? So if I can get a picture of our family, I can just add that to the inside. Because it's protected on the inside, you can just use like that paper tape like I was using. It sticks, it's all good. Should put the year on the. I'd have to find good stickers. I don't actually buy a lot of stickers, like flat stickers with letters and stuff. I might have some. Okay, so the deer won, by the way. It was close for a while. It was like one. Like, guys, you're not helping. Okay, flat stickers that have numbers. Ooh, I do have some. Oh, maybe these. Okay, I've got a few options. There's like little tiny white ones. I usually do put the year on the inside of the cover. It would be easier on the outside to see. I think these are too see-through. Those are actually see-through. These are little brown ones. I thought because the deer is brown that maybe these little brown ones would be good. And these are shiny metallic, but that's not gonna work either. Okay, so winner. We'll go with this. And then I'll laminate that and the cover will be done. And then I think it's time for a draw. So let me get this cover done and then we'll do our draw. Okay. Put this deer on the cover. And just a 2019 underneath. Oh, maybe I need a banner or something to put that onto. Just looking at it, it looks like it's going to be way too small by itself. But if there's like a little banner or a little piece, right, that could be good. Not seeing anything that looks like it's like the best choice for this. There's like little, there's like little labels and stuff in this little bit. It's got to be something that's neat. Oh, there's like little tiny little pieces in this part. Oh, like photo corners. Oh, there's a cute little bunny in here too. Okay. '2020, we're going to be using up lots of our 2s and 0s. Right around the corner. Oh, and I'm putting 2010 on here because I'm not thinking about this at all. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cute. That is pretty cute. And it would look good if I had like a little bit of a thing sticking out past it here. So lots of just picking through the little bits. Okay, so I think I'm going to use this banner behind this little thing, and it says 2019 on it now, but the banner's too small. And what I think I'm going to do is extend the banner a little bit by chopping it underneath and then bringing it a little bit wider. Part of the issue with it, though, is that it has some little letters on it. It says season's greetings. But I think that would be okay. Okay, I think that's gonna be good. Tape this. And then take this side. And I just made it like a wider banner. The words are going to be slightly covered up, but I think because we know what those kind of things say, that's going to be fine. It's not like hard to read or understand. And then this will go underneath or over the top. Okay. I think I gotta move my deer up just a little touch. Okay, so I've got a little Seasons Grazings 2019 with the deer. And Brielle said you could have used one of your branding strips, which would have been a greater idea, but this is done now. That would have been perfect though. So then I could have made like a little banner. So there we go. This is why I should read my computer more. Because, and it's one of the things I love most about doing these sessions is that we have such good ideas, especially collectively. Bringing everybody together and working on my scrapbook page. It's awesome. Okay, let's bring this pile up here. And, oh, this thing turned off. That's hilarious. It should be ready really quick because it's still hot. Okay, looks great. All right. So we'll run that through, then I'll have the cover. And then I'm gonna get my cinch, bring it handy. But we will do our draw next. Okay, pulling up a random number generator so that we can Random number generator. Ooh, this is coming out good. It looks great. Oh my gosh. And because the title's on the cover, it'll be so easy to know that this is the one I need every time. So let's turn that off. And I'm gonna set this just over here on the floor so that it's out of the way. Do you have a Mink? I use that for laminating. I don't have a Mink. I've actually done some laminating with my with my other thing. And generally it works okay. I haven't done it recently, actually. I should play with that again because I love having that foil. Okay, so here we go. Ta-da! Looks really cute. Really happy. So we'll trim that up in a minute, but we should do the draw first. So we have 30 people. One of those is me, and that means that I can we'll do for 29. Let's have a look here. 29, generate. Huh, says 2. Okay, so Angel. Angel, you are our winner today. Congratulations. Please send me a message at support@scraphappy.org and you will get a free kit from the Wild Hair Kit. Scraphappy.org. Okay, so congratulations to Angel. Congratulations, congratulations. She says, wow, thank you. Okay, so don't forget, and it's .org, not .com. So support@scraphappy.org, and then I'll send your information off to Allison from the Wild Hair Kits. You will fill out your own style profile, so all the cool things that you think are awesome and fun, you tell her about those things as you go through, and there's lots of selections to pick, and then you will get a free kit, and it's for like the deluxe kit, so it's the bigger kit. So super fun. Congrats to Angel. Yay. Okay. I am going to, oh, that's good. That's like, I'm almost done this cough, guys. Like it's been ongoing. Okay, so let's trim this. And then I like to just round the corners with my scissors, which isn't maybe the most elegant way, but once it's in a book, you'll never like be like, oh my gosh, look at that horribly rounded corner. She must have did that with scissors. and then I'll just line this one up with the other one and make sure I make my front and back cover the same size. There's some extra bits of plastic, and I've seen people do some cool things with that. So for now, I'm just going to set those to the side and keep them available if I get ambitious to do something fun with them, but we'll see. Okay, so now that I've got the front and back covers, oh, one of my sparkles came off of my thing. So if you have not used a cinch before, then I'm probably not your best instructor, but I have used it and it's we're kind of friends. We're kind of friends. So, and if you're like looking in and be like, she's doing it all wrong, it's good. Tell us that in the comments too. Be like, you're supposed to do it like this. I'm good. There's always something to learn. Okay, so the cool thing about the cinch is that you cut the holes for your project. Now, when you're cutting your holes for your project, I'm just gonna say, like, with most cutters, like, so this paper is 9 inches. If I just put it into the cutter without using the special selections, you're not gonna have this little bit of leftover hangover edge at both ends. You don't want to necessarily have extra has half holes and stuff like that. Just doesn't look as pro. So with the cinch, it allows you to have like that perfect little leftover gutter ends or whatever they technically call them past your binding that aren't hole punched. So that's kind of like the purpose of what we're gonna do with this thing right here right now. I'm gonna practice on my back cover because, you know, the back, if I mess it up, then I'll know for the front, don't do it like that. um, but our goal here, oh, maybe I didn't do the covers first. I did with the paper. So let me do it with the paper first. Okay. So it's 9 inches long, and we do the first cut just in the cutter, and then we slide this out so that we can do our second cut, and then we pull a pin. So with first one, all the pins are pressed. So each of these little pins that are along the front here, that's where a hole is going to get cut. So it cuts all of your holes. Now, if you're doing fancy projects that are, say you're doing your own, you're going to clip it with binder rings or something like that, and you don't need to have all of the holes, you can actually pull out pins and then it won't cut every pin that you pull out. So you can really customize the number of holes or what you're looking for a project. But for this one, because we're just going to use one of these metal coils, we need all of the holes for that. So I'm going to cut the first one here. It's just that easy. You can see the holes right there. And then as I slide this out all the way, there's actually a little guide right here on the side that lets you put it down so that it's secured in the right spot. So the holes are actually lined up. And then, oh, see you, Brielle. And then whichever one is here, and it'll tell you for something that's 9 inches, pull peg number 6. But you can see right here that if peg number 6 cuts, it's going to cut my paper, and we don't want that. So pull out peg number 6, and because that one doesn't actually cut now, we've got the perfect little lines, and you can see how there's like this little gutter edge here and there's a little gutter edge here with no extra holes there. Now the difference is if I'm doing a card like this one, so this one is just over 6 inches, I could put this right in here and it's going to cut it and it's going to leave those gutter edges. But then what happens is something different. So let me push that one in. So if I cut this card here, because I'm going to put this one right into the binding. So now I don't have that extra hole at the top here that I would need to put this into the binding. So I think what I'll do is I'll put this one down at the bottom of the book so it lines up like this. But you can see I'm missing that top hole. And you have to have it if it's going within the book, right? Or if I was going to have it here, I'm going to need a half hole and another hole here. So there's ways of doing that as well. So here, I'm just going to put this back in, have it all lined up, and then I punch this other hole. And now I have the extra hole here, and I can put this at the bottom of the book. Make sense? All good? But then if I wanted like the other half hole there so I can put it in the center, say I don't want to have it at the bottom edge of the book and I want to have it up a little bit higher, as long as I have the holes lined up, see, I'd need to have another hole right here. Let me show you here. So you can see like the top holes, all the holes are lined up, but this one here is going to be getting in the way of your spine. So what I can do is I can just flip this over, and if I set this little guide on the side, it's like a little, it just slips right into the hole. If I flip that guide, it lines up all the holes. So now I can punch that one again, and it repunched all of these, but it gave me this little half hole on the end. You can see the little half hole right here. Now this card is good, so you can put it in anywhere. And with smaller things, you can line things up in the center and center it so that you get the holes all lined up. But when you have something that's like at the awkward edge there, you just need to make sure you have this little hole trimmed so that once your card is in your binding, wherever you want to put it. Now that I've cut that there, I'll probably put it in more in a center location because I have that option. Okay, so cutting bindings. The homemade cards, I tend to always make sure that if I can, I put those ones into the book. If they've got something special on the back, sometimes I do extra little flips and folds, and so that's kind of fun. Yeah, this one is pretty tall, but it should fit within the book. So I might just put this one right into the binding itself. Yeah, okay. So now it's kind of a matter of where do you want things to go? And I'll show you with some how easy they can be. So I've got this card and it's gonna go right in the binding, and you can see, like, it did cut some of my stuff, but I'm really not too worried about some of that. Let's pick a smaller card. It's a little smaller. Okay. So when I have a smaller card that could fit, I just try to make sure that it's going to be along the binding if I want it to be bound. And I always think of the back of the cards as an extra space for embellishing or adding photos. Monica says it's fun to see my card there. I know, I've got all the fun things from everybody. Where's yours, the gingerbread men, or this one here? There we go. This one's for Monica. There we go. I have lots of ones from my friends. So I don't put every card into like the binding, but I think with some of the cards, it's kind of nice, and it gives us different interaction levels, right? So when you have some that are attached to your background paper, so this one here, it actually folds up because there was extra writing on the back, and I just wanted to be able to still be able to read that and still open the card. And then this one here opens up, so it's attached onto the one like that. But then, and of course, like, so you've got up folds and out folds, but then I also have some that are layered in here. So I've got like photo cards that are layered. They were both empty on the back, so I put them back to back and included them in. And then I have a fold out card here. That's why now it's from last year. So that's kind of fun for doing. So once I have everything that is punched, all the papers and all the stuff, that's when you take your coil, and you can line it up just on the edge here. It has like a little spot. And then I always have to remind myself like how to put my little sandwich together with my stuff. So there is a way where you put the back cover to the front cover and then you turn them over. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I've got the foil thing on here, guys. I didn't pay attention. There was a sticker on the back of the thing. Oops. This is real life. But it's on the back cover. It's all good. So I think you bring your back and you place it on the front, and then you have all your layers underneath, and then you can line them all up once they're all punched right here, and you'll trim off the extra part of the coil. I often just use my Tim Holtz scissors. Can you reopen the coil to add more pages later? I don't think so. Like, you could try, but it would be a challenge. If I was adding more stuff to it later, I would probably just use like tip-ins where I have pages that fold out or fold up and things like that, because it would be a challenge to try to like open that coil. Because once we line everything up on the coil here and we trim the coil, it comes on around to the back. You put it into the back, you squish the machine down, and it flattens your coil. So it's closed then, and that would be difficult. So Monica says, I want to make a book for our yearly Christmas cards. Probably for that, I would go with like binder clips or something like that. You could do like a little row of binder clips, like so that there's several, so it's like tighter, like held together a little bit tighter. So that would probably be something that I would do instead, because otherwise, yeah, it would be, yeah, this wouldn't be the thing. Unless you did like the foundation pages and then always just stuck your cards onto the foundation pages. And that would give you a good base for your whole book to stick them onto. So yeah, okay, I still have plenty of time, so I'm going to actually get punching some more pages. I punched a couple cards, and I'm just gonna stick all my punched items in a pile. And then I go through, once I've got all the things punched that I need. I didn't print any like really big photos. I forgot. I usually print like my tree or something really big so that I can have at least one picture that's like a picture page that I turn, but I didn't. So I do have all of my pictures printed, and I have the Christmas card that I made this year as well. Like, it was so cute. It has like this little window that opens up with the punch, and I love it. I was like, oh, that's so cute. And then you open it up and there's the window where you can see the tree, and then you open it up and see the tree. I'm like, that's the cutest. So that was the card that I did this year, and I wanted to include one in. And I've got a picture of it with the stack of cards, because I sent like 90 this year. I was like ambitious. So, so I was like, yeah, I should have a picture of that. And but then I have pictures, and I've just kind of put them in like this way, that way. I printed most of them smaller, so most of them are printed about a 3x4. My machine, or my printer, doesn't like to butt pictures side by side without a gap in between them. So I usually print 2.8x4, because then it will put 2 3x4s onto the same printer sheet, and then I can just cut them up. And you can see, like, not all my pictures are like wonderful quality. If you can see this picture, it's not very good quality. We're in Red Robin. It's nighttime. There are lights from the window shining through the window, and there's like slats. You can actually see the shadows of the slats across our faces. But this was us, me and my friend, having dinner together. And I look at that and I just know what a good day we had together. So I will scrapbook this ugly photo. So don't be worried about having like non-perfect photos. But then I have all of our different activities. I do base it through the like kind of by date. So then I go through and I have them all separated by the different dates, so I can kind of intersperse them amongst the cards. So that's kind of the big plan here. Okay. So this book, or this cinch machine, you don't have to just cut like one sheet of paper at a time. Once you know what you're doing, and once you have everything lined up right, you can actually do more pages. One thing you might want to consider is, do you want your patterns to be all facing the same way, or would you like some of them to be the other way? So you can intersperse your patterns so that when you cut your binding, you'll see some fronts and some backs. And that's really cool if you say you want to have like 2 pages that open up in the book that have, what do I do with it? The same pattern, right? You want to have the same pattern. You can actually put those facing each other. Now, when you cut your holes along here, that can be in your book so that you have like a double page opening that has the same pattern across them. And then of course, like the backs of them will be different. So depending on what you have for your thing, but you might want to like, you know, put another thing with that one. And then maybe your next one is also a double page opening. And if you have cut your papers the way I showed, like there will be even a line on your papers that lines up. Like here, you can see the lineup of the flowers in the center. So you can even set that so that that part lines up on your seams of your book. It's just how much planning do you wish to have? Are you going to put double pages like that together? A lot of mine, I don't. You can see I've got like this pink, and then I've got a different one here, and I've got like different ones on every page, but it just depends on what you think you would like the most as you flip through your book. I've obviously like covered so many surfaces, you barely see some of my pattern papers in the background, but you know, it's all good. And then, so you can see this tall card here, like just like that tall one that I had just punched. It makes a really great like mini page that kind of has like this extra little bit in it. So there's like all these extra surfaces to play with once you've assembled the book. So my goal is to get this book assembled. I think we can get this assembled before we finish today, but I don't think that I'm gonna like overly overthink too many pages that I plan to like put together like this, just because in the end, like it's not gonna matter so much. I think I'll put that at the top, and it doesn't matter because there's polka dots on the back, but I think if I'm gonna have that along an inside, or else I can put that on, when I put it to the back, actually, when I open it up, it's gonna be in the top corner of a page. So I'm gonna actually put that in like this. Yeah. So I'm gonna punch these ones. You can do several sheets together, and I'm not sure if that's too many. I'm sure there's guidelines, but if it punches, it punches, so. And I gotta remember to pull the number 6. And I'm gonna just set the whole guide, because just when you set the whole guide, then you know that you've kind of got them in the right and pushed back all the way. So I do set my whole guide, especially when I'm using, and that's this little guide here on the side, especially when I'm doing a big pile of them like this. And then those are all punched. And that's not gonna go like that. That's gonna have to go like this. Okay. First punch. We're gonna run it out. We're gonna line up that whole guide. Oh, something is trying to be difficult here. There, that has prevented any problems. And there, so that's all of my base pages. Now I can do the covers. For the covers, because they are pretty much the same width as these, I can just treat them as a regular sheet. Yeah, so that's good. That's going to be the inside. I'll put that down at the bottom. Regular. Okay, so now we've got front cover, back cover, lots of sheets for inside. I've punched a couple of cards, and let's go through quick and see if there was any other cards that I wanted to punch. And like I said, I didn't print any big photos. That would be the other thing to kind of include there. I've got a card here, but if I cut holes along the side and put that along the binding, that would be invasive to the photo. So I try to be least invasive as possible. I might cut this one. This one is huge, so I'll definitely cut this one so that it'll go through here. And when I cut it, like these letters up here, like with our names on it, there's going to be holes in it. So if you don't want something like that, you have to just mount them. But you'll see, like I don't cut a lot of the personal Christmas like cards, but then I do more so with the other ones. And this one's kind of fun because it's like a center, like it's a fold out card. So if I punch that along there, then I have varying heights in the book as well, so that everything doesn't all feel like it's like one height. I can layer things in. So that's kind of fun for me to have that. Oh gosh, I got the cutest little cards. Oh yeah, and I don't want to cut any of the words off of this one. This is Brielle. She was here earlier. There. Okay, so I might just do all of these store-bought cards and add those into my binding, which gives me extra pages kind of in my book. Let's see. Monica says that I finally finished journaling in my traveler's notebook from the ScrapHappy reunion. Oh, that's wonderful. We should do a thing where you like show us your book sometime. It doesn't have to be today because I can't hear things today. Look at her. She's got it all holding up. But apparently I've got to sort out more problems. I'm like, we're leaving all tech issues behind in 2019. All the tech issues are left behind. For next year, there's no tech issues allowed. But that's okay. Okay, so you can see with the cards, if I want them simple, like if I'm being very simple, I just plan to line them up at the bottom edge of the binding. And then when I cut my holes, as long as I don't pull out a pin, it will cut over the very edges of the top of the card. So I'll show you with this one. I think we'll see a good example here. So because I'm not pulling out a pin to make it not cut, it's going to cut right in the center. So as long as I put this card right down at the very bottom, this top part will be cut because you can see that little half hole there. And that's just, you can see how quick and easy they can be. Now this one here is there is actually a center guide. And so you can center a card in here so that you kind of have it in the middle so that your holes are lined up. Apparently I didn't line it up very good, but there is a centering mark for people that care. For me, like, it just allows me to stick this anywhere. I can stick it kind of anywhere in the binding as I go. And like the easiest ones are to plan for them at the top. If I want them to plan, or for at the bottom, if I want to plan for them at the top, I can just flip the card upside down, and then that becomes my bottom edge binding, but using the top. So looking at them this way, this is obviously the bottom, but if I flip it upside down, now I can plan to put this card at the top and have the holes punched so that there's extra space at the top here. So this one will fit at the top of my binding. So just so you have all the options available. And I'll do this one as another top edge. So I'll put it upside down, cut my holes, and then put it through. And there we go. I think that's like, ooh, I didn't add any extra little bits. So I think I will take this and make a little pocket. So, and then I'll bind that and attach that in here too. So I'm gonna make a little pocket. So I'm just gonna fold this in half, and then it'll be like a little pocket flap piece. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. And then I'll just put like one little piece of this tape along the bottom. So hopefully this is giving you like lots of ideas for putting these books together. And you can see like I've got all the pieces trimmed right now. Obviously the pages aren't decorated the way I'll eventually have them decorated, but you know, like I think once you have the pictures all printed, like I have most of them printed, like this can happen like quite quickly. There we go. So then I've created this little pocket that can go in here. Heather says, will you do a video to show the completed book? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think I'd probably put the pocket at the bottom. That would make the most sense. So there we go. There's like a little pocket. And I think that's probably good, right? I can't think of anything else that I really need as far as that. So I think we can start assembling the pieces. So I'm gonna just move the extra cards and stuff. Oh, I didn't do this one. Why didn't I have holes in that one? Okay. One more card apparently. And it's top folds out. This one came from France. I was all excited. Like, who do I know in France? Oh yeah. Okay, so now that I've got all the pieces that I want to put into the book, we can start assembling. And this just kind of clips onto here. And let's see, I think we can load all our pages in and then we put the covers on at the top. So somewhere back in the album, I think I'll start with some papers. Let's just put a couple of, so we've got pocket pages, we've got fold out pockets, or fold out pages, like tip outs, and then we've got like normal pages. So let's go with that. Why is this not going? Okay. There we go. But yeah, I'll definitely do one with the completed book because I think it's nice to see it all when it's all come together. And we'll add one of these fold out flaps here. No, maybe I'll do a card first. Throw a card in here. And maybe a card that goes somewhere else. Oh, is this one too long? looks like it's too long. Let's trim that now so I don't have to deal with trimming it after. Oh, good. Okay. Kept all the words inside. That was close. And yeah, so Christmas was good. But I'll definitely show like the full project. But this will be really close. By the time we're done, like you'll kind of see it just won't be as decorated and we'll have the photos and the other things added to it. But and I think just a normal paper. And then I'll tuck some Christmas cards in here. This one was designed for the very top. And good. Okay, let's add another paper. Yeah, let's see. Cards. Oh, I think I'll put a little pocket in here. And then I'll have some cards. And, oh, that's my fold out paper. Well, maybe I'll add these together because that would be like a really nice page kind of in the middle of something here. So this is all coming together really good. Let's put in my fancy tip out page. This one is like a tip out that faces this way. So I want to have like another. Yeah, this one has to be on the bottom. Okay, let's get that in. Put this one in. I'm gonna put this tall card. And I think I'll plan to put these together. That looks nice. And a card. And a tip out. Oh no, that's a pocket. And oh, was I going to put this beside each other? Sure, I've cut them right, so I may as well leave them together. And oh, I've got one pocket and a nice page for my title page. And then my front cover and my back cover with that little sticker that I laminated right in there. You know, because I'm really good at this, guys. I'll show you all the things not to do. How about that? Okay, and now I'm going to cut my wire. Or not. Oh, usually my scissors are good, but there we go. Cut wire. I do have some other metal things. So this is all together now, and then I pull it off of these guides, and then I can stick it in here to bind it. Now, I need it to be on 1 1/8 because I think that's the right size. Yes, that fits in there nice. And then I'll squish and I'll squish and then I'll squish it the rest of the way. And if you set it to the right dial guide on here for the size of your coil, it folds it to the right thing. Now you take your back cover around, move all your pages, and then ta-da! There we go. So we have a book, and when I open it up, I can do my title page. This is why I kind of had like a plain pattern for there. And then you can see I've got a pocket page and some simple pages that open. And like that's where I'm going to be, like I'm attaching more cards and stuff right into these pages. And also photos. And then I do use some of the extra papers and stuff to cover some of the backs or extra papers that I have. I've got another pocket here, some Christmas cards going into the book. I did do that double page kind of thing going on here. Now I've got this Christmas card that you can open it up to see all the stuff inside. And then this one is a tip out. So I've got like a little extra space for throwing more pictures or something on here. And I've got some more cards tucked in. And because you can read them all, like I love being able to get into them, see them all. And I decided to keep this one. I don't know if those line up perfectly. I think that was not well planned there, Alice, but I'll cover up the one side to make it less obvious. And there we go. So you can see all the cards. This is that little pocket that I made. So I'll slip something into here, like whether it's a tag or a photo card or something. I've got adhesive sticking to me. So you can just imagine like something like this just tucked into that little tiny little pocket that I made, right? And then I've got some more cards. I've got another one of these tip outs there and a couple more cards, and we reach the back. And I'll just cover that with something, you know, I'll put a picture on the back or something so it's a little less like, oh, she left the parenting strip in there. But here we go. That's like my 2019 book. And now it's just embellish and decorate and add the photos, add the cards. So I try to kind of go through and with my sticky notes now and kind of see what's going to go where. And like I said, I printed most of my photos fairly small, like 2.8 by 4. But a lot of them, so like basically 3 by 4s, but then I do some like where I've got like lots of pictures on the same day. I print them even smaller, so they're like a 2 by 3 kind of size. Like those are not high quality photos. Let's just say those aren't great, but we're in like one of those little money things that spins around. Like they just had vouchers in there. Money would have been more exciting. But it was super fun, and it was just a cool opportunity. So I have all the pictures in here so that I can go to town, and I'll include my own Christmas card. So that's like the next step. Looks wonderful, lovely, awesome. What I used, the biggest coil that I could find actually was the 1.25 inch. So on metric gals, it says 3.1 centimeters, but 1 1/4 was the largest ones that I could find. So that's, if somebody knows where to get me some bigger ones sometimes, because this looks really skinny right now, right? But I haven't added these extra cards in here yet, and I haven't added the photos in here yet. So even though right now that looks like a skinny little book, like last year's book, it's not exactly flat, let's just say. So I could have used even a bigger coil for that, but you know, using less chunky embellishments helps a lot, especially when you have so many layers of the paper and stuff like that. So yeah. Well, I'm hoping that this was like good and that you got to see this come together and you're like, okay, like that's totally a manageable project, because like last year and the year before, the ones that I made, I just sit down and I did them. Like printing photos, like literally was the only thing I did ahead of time of this project was printing the photos and making the list. The cards were all together. So you can kind of see, you know, it doesn't have to be crazy time consuming either. It will take me a little bit to go and add the photos in. And like I said, if I need extra space, I'll just use extra paper to make more of those tip outs so that I have more space to add the things that I need now that I've built the base of the book. But you have to look at like the backs of all of these cards are options for me to embellish as well, right? So I stick photos on the backs of the cards, and that gives me more spaces in the book to decorate. So yeah, it should be good. Pretty excited. And I've got like nice little things to play with here. And oh dear, we'll end up in there somewhere. So thank you so much. Does anybody have any final questions about this project or anything else? I'm just going to tell you a little bit about some of the other things that we do. So obviously this is our Scrapbook Live event. Normally I'm making scrapbook pages, but I just thought this was such a fun project, and it can seem like, how do you even pull that off? And, you know, here we are 2 hours, not even into this, and I have the whole base of the project with a bunch of the cards already added. And depending on the level of difficulty that you want to apply to it, like you don't need to add tip out pages and pocket pages and stuff like that. Like it just depends on how you want to build your project. Another thing that we do every month, or we're trying to introduce every month, is our Scrap Smarter sessions. This month we actually talked about the Christmas book, and then I said we'll actually put it together today, so that we have done. We also do things within our ScrapHappy family every month. So we have our scrapbook, or our happy hour sessions, and then we have movie night sessions. So we have a few different events that happen within our group. One of our big events that is coming up starting February 1st is the load challenge. So it'll be load 220 for February of 2020. So load 220, our theme is based around Harry Potter this time, and it's called Memories Managed. So the sale for that course is going to be starting just in January. So really excited about that. All ScrapHappy members get automatic access. So if you come and join our ScrapHappy family, then all of our load challenges are included. That's part of your membership. So members get your scrappy gears ready, because we are going to be rolling, and we literally scrapbook a page every day during the month of February. And this is a leap year, girls. So 29 days of scrapbooking. Bonnie says, I really liked watching you make your card book. It's a great project. Thank you. We also will have a load challenge in May, and then a members only one in October. We even do a mini one, a little 1 week taster version in August. ScrapHappy has an annual reunion this year. We're planning to go to Salt Lake City. I'm working with hotels on that. I just got a quote back. It wasn't very good, so I'm looking at other options. Monica says, I plan to be there. Joyce says, it looks like it was great. I wish I'd seen the whole project. The replay is going to be up on YouTube very soon after this, so I will have the replay up if you missed part of the album. And I will do a proper video once I've got all the pieces in, so showing everything. She says, oh, that'll be great. Yeah, so if you're interested in some of the things that we do, everything we do is geared around getting you scrapbooking, connecting you with other scrapbookers. So the first year's membership is $149. This is US dollars, $149 for the first year. And then after that, it's a $99 per year renewal. And the cost of a load challenge is $50. We do 3 of those a year. So right there, that's the coverage of a membership. And honestly, until I did loads, I was one of those people that was like the slowest scrapbooker in the world. Like, I know everybody says it, lots of people say it, but I was that person. Like, I would work and fiddle on a page and not get anything done. And then I would walk away and be like, oh, I just don't know. I'll come back to that after. And then I'd come back to it, but I would never get my journaling done. And it just was like, I need to figure out a better way. And so the first time I heard of load, because I did not invent it, I was like, I can't scrapbook every day for a month. That's crazy. And I signed up on a whim because I thought, even if I fail, I will win, because how many pages do I make in a month? At that time, I was lucky to make 2. Honestly, I was lucky to make 2. And, so that's not very good, like numbers when you say 2, times, 12 times a year, say that's 24 pages. That's not a lot of scrapbooking in a year for somebody that says, I'm a scrapbooker. I said I was a scrapbooker, but I wasn't productive. So once I did that first load, I made a page the first day, and I made a page the second day, and then I made a page the third day. And then you're kind of on a streak, right? You're like, oh, okay, well, now I got to make my page. Like, I can't fail now. And then you kind of get 10 days in, and it was like, I can't fail now. And I got through the whole first month, and it was amazing. So that was super fun. Angel says that the membership is 100% worth it. And Joy says, I'm going to ask for membership for my birthday. Monica says, are you also doing Calvin Ball in March? Yes, we are. So we have so much stuff going on. So Calvin Ball is a free event that we do host, and it was hosted previously by the Get It Scrap community. And when they closed their doors last year, I said, Debbie, I'm your gal. I will take this on. This sounds fun. And yeah, it was so good. Fancy Scrappy, she says, I did the first load that Lane offered, and it was fun. Oh my gosh. Like, I wasn't there for the first load. I think my first one was in 2013, the first one that I did. But I can't believe it. Like, this coming up year, 2020, this is going to be 5 years of me leading ScrapHappy Gals. 5 years. I'm like pumped. I'm so excited. I'm so excited because I did the first one in 2016, load 5 of 2016. That was the first one that I hosted, the first load that I hosted under the ScrapHappy banner. So yeah, so excited. It has just been the best time getting to hang out with other scrapbookers, getting to know people, getting to go to the reunions. I did attend 2 reunions when Lane did them. And then after that, like, I've already hosted 4 of them. Like, I'm like, have I done that for real? Oh my, wow. Cause we went to Texas, we went to San Diego, we went to Colorado, we went to Calgary, and like those are the last 4 years. And then this year we're going to go to Salt Lake City. So yeah, it's been amazing just getting to meet other scrapbookers and hang out with people. Heather says, we came in around the same time. I love how much I get done when we're together. I know, it's so great. So it's taken my scrapbooking from like maybe 24 pages a year to over 100 pages a year. I'm like telling stories that my pages, that's the thing, like my pages are better now than they ever were before, because I struggled so much with journaling before. And I think that for me, like, that was the thing. Like, I wanted to tell the stories on my page, but I struggled with it. Lots of time now, I start with the story in mind of what I'm telling, and then I make the page for that story. And so it is like a totally different thing. And we've made load so that it works for different people in different ways, right? Because for me, the story prompts 100% are what I need to help me tell good stories on my pages. But some people are like, I love having technique prompts. That really is inspiring to me. And I said, why don't we do both? Why don't we just do both every single day? And people are like, oh, well, that would be amazing. So I'm like, if that's what we need, why don't we do it? And that's kind of how I look at ScrapHappy. If there's something that we need, then that's what we need to do. Yeah, and I'm excited. We're behind with our sketch challenge right now. So we're gonna get that sorted out right away, girls. I swear, I promise. But going into 2020, I talked with Christina Sorge from the Secret Not Secret Kids. And she has a cut file club. So we are going to have cut file prizes for 2020 for our monthly sketches. So I've talked with Christina and she will send out the actual cut files pre-cut, all set. So look forward to that for 2020 for our sketches. So that's like a cool announcement. This year we had a sponsor. We had our sequins, the Spiegel Mom Scraps, so like the same company here. Spiegel Mom Scraps was our sponsor for 2019 for our sketch challenges, and so that has been super fun awarding prizes. This is our first year doing prizes for our sketch challenges, and so that was like a whole new thing. Always thinking of things just to keep everybody motivated and keep you interested and keep you scrapbooking and make us more productive, right? If we want to do this fun stuff, let's just do it. And that's what I love about it. So just finding ways to get us to actually do it. Okay, that's it. If you're interested, pop over to scraphappy.org, check out our registration. Registration is from the time you sign up. You get a full year from your sign up time. So it's not like by a calendar year, although at this time of year, I suppose that wouldn't be a big deal. But Monica says the challenges give me accountability. That's a huge one. That's why I made it through. That's why I've made it through so many of them. And Monica knows she has scrapbooked a page a day for over a year. Over a year. Was it almost 2? It was closing in on 2. Like it was a lot. Like she did a time 26 months. Like, that's crazy. But it's not. Once you got the system, right? Like, and she got into the habit and, she started during load and then she just kept going. And there's so many things that we do that kind of help to spur you on for that. And I just love it. I think it's amazing. So congratulations for that. But, it's just amazing to sit down and do this thing that we love and to tell our stories about our life. Like, I think it's heartbreaking when you look at a photo album that doesn't have the stories, and like all you have is questions. Who's this person? Where were you? What was going on? What were you thinking? Oh my God, how come you went there? Like all of the questions that, how did that happen? Like we looked at pictures from Jonas's grandparents, like my husband's grandparents, and we were going through all these pictures to make them an anniversary album. And Becky says, I'm sick and I was going to go back to bed when I got the reminder this morning. Instead, I got to my room and I scrapped 3 pages. This group is motivating. That's awesome. Way to go, Becky. So, yeah, we're going through these pictures of my husband's grandparents and to make them this anniversary album. And we're finding pictures of them on sailboats all over the world. And we come across these pictures of them heli skiing. And we're just like, who are these people? Who are they? Like, I knew them as these older couple that don't seem that exciting. His grandma literally saves elastic bands in one drawer and little bits of string in this other drawer and like washes out her plastic bags and stuff. Like, this is the person that I met. And then I see these pictures from their life and all I had was questions. And it was like amazing to see the vibrant life that they lived. And I think through my scrapbooking, I can tell some of that story about my own life and share some of that vibrancy, because the pictures just leave me with questions. So my goal is to make my scrapbooks tell a more full story about the amazing full life that we live. So there's my personal philosophy and the thing that I'm always striving for. And hopefully 2020, well, not hopefully, I will make 2020 super good. So ScrapHappy members, we are having our plan session on Monday. That is the 30th. And we are going to be talking about 2019 and how we're moving forward for 2020. And I have been listening to all kinds of motivational goal planning. Monica, I have not read the Atomic Habits yet, but I'm listening to a podcast with the guy from the Atomic Habits. So yeah, it's good stuff. So I've got lots to chat about on Monday. So ScrapHappy members, don't miss our plan session. It is at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining me. If something that I said today has inspired you to make your own Christmas card album, please show me what you make. Tag me on social media. I'm at Alice Boll, and it's Boll. At Alice Boll on Instagram. You can also kind of search ScrapHappy, and usually I show up. Our website is scraphappy.org. Come check out the membership. We do all kinds of fun things and have lots of stuff going on. And for me, it's about getting to know the people. You know, when I see people, I'm like, why no, there's last year's Christmas card. I have this year's Christmas card right here. And, when I see Amy, I'm like, hey, you're my gal. Give me the thumbs up that I can hear today. I get to know everybody. And I just love that, because I don't have a lot of friends that scrapbook right here close to me that I can just call into my life and say, let's hang out together and scrapbook all the time. But by having friends from around the world, we can make this happen and we can really enjoy this. So come and check it out, scraphappy.org. Okay, until next time, we will be doing this again in January, and January is exciting month. So if you're doing my scrapbook Christmas in January class, that starts January 1st for the next part. And if you are excited about the new things that are coming out at Creativation and what new products we'll have to be scrapping with over the next few months, I am headed to Creativation in January, and we'll be posting videos on my YouTube channel. So the replay of this also is on my YouTube channel. And so if you're not subscribed to the YouTube, it's ScrapHappy. You can find that on YouTube. And we, last year we posted 50 videos. So I will be somewhat disappointed if I don't post at least 51 this year, right? We gotta go for it. So we'll be doing videos from Creativation, and that is I think the third weekend of January. And then right around the corner, we do Load. We're going to have our memories managed, and then off to Calvin Ball. So we've got a good plan for the next few months. So join me for that. Okay, everyone, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.